Delusions of grandeur are just delusions until they become real. Let's listen to Kevin Smith talk about achieving unreasonable dreams in today's Big Think video.
I stand before you on Big Think as the first to stand. Kids, all my energy is delivered this way.
He's standing up for what he believes in.
So I asked the good folks, I was like, can I stand? Yeah. And here we are. So let's go on the journey together, on our feet. I feel in order to get to where you're going requires a reasonable amount of unreasonability. Not like, hey man, I'm gonna jump off a building and fly without the aid of a jetpack. That's unreasonable unreasonability. Reasonable amount is just like, why not me?
Why not me and why not you?
Hey kids, my name's Kevin Smith. Started in 1994 with a little motion picture named Clerks, and that's how people came to know me, was as a writer-director. Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jane, Silent Bob Strike Back, Jersey Girl, Cop Out, Red State, Tusk.
I definitely watched Jay and Silent Bob when I was growing up. It's funny to hear Kevin Smith talk because in that movie he doesn't really talk. He's Silent Bob.
The list goes on, kids. I've got 16 movies. I'm heading toward my 17th. So mostly my career, I've been a filmmaker, but somewhere along the line, I decided to just become myself for a living professionally. So my real title is Professional Kevin Smith.
A professional of being yourself sounds pretty nice.
Professional Kevin Smith. Everybody, mostly everybody except people who are born rich, everybody has had a shitty job.
Mostly everybody. Asterisk trust fund kids.
And that's what Clerks is about, having a job you hate so much that you do anything else at the job to forget about the fact that you're there to work.
This guy's going through all the eggs, look. This has been going on for 20 minutes now.
At the end of the day, there's always going to be some job you don't want that you can take. I'd rather die trying to do something I love doing and hope it works out than just kind of commit to that.
I think we need more of that in the world, dying for what you love or putting in all your effort towards something that's going to make you happy, something that you really enjoy, something that you love.
So I always had a piece of me that felt like the risk's worth taking. Why not try to make your dreams come true?
The juice is worth the squeeze, and anything that you can dream of is a possibility. Now, that may sound a little bit woo-woo, but belief, possibilities, and luck, and right timing, sometimes things work out in your favor.
I dreamt about movies. I'd seen a motion picture called Slacker, written and directed by Richard Linklater, and he was a filmmaker working in Austin, Texas. I did not realize that Austin, Texas, where Slacker was made, was the capital of Texas. All I heard was this kid made a movie in Texas, in Nowheresville, Texas, and it worked out. Well, maybe I can make a movie in Nowheresville, New Jersey.
I've noticed that seeing other people do something that you want to do and thinking to yourself, hey, I could do that. If they could do that, I could definitely do that, has helped me a tremendous amount. And maybe realizing other people are just people just like you, that you can do anything that they can do, will inspire you to follow your dreams.
I've said, what's the story I could tell? I have access to this convenience store. I work in it all the time. I've never seen a movie made in a convenience store before. Maybe that could be my thing. After I made the flick, right, I make Clerks, and I make it on credit cards, $27,575.
Wow, 27,000. I wonder what year that was. I mean, it definitely looks like a low budget film, but doesn't have that vibe. There's definitely a message behind it, which goes to show that you don't need a ton of money to make art in any form. It truly is about what resonates with people.
And I was steamrolling toward this one event, not Sundance. It is called the IFFM, the Independent Feature Film Marketplace. The idea of the marketplace is you fill it with as many potential buyers or press as possible to see the movie. It's not a film festival, it's a marketplace about sales. We go, and the only people in the audience at the Angelica Film Center are me and the cast and crew. So 10 of us, and we all worked on the movie. And the first 10 minutes of watching my movie on the big screen, this was the thought process. My God, why did I do this? Why is everyone looks so terrible. This movie looks like it was shot through a glass of milk. Why won't they stop cursing? What was I thinking? I had a kind of breakdown in the moment in the theater.
Perception of any event is really everything. If you can reframe your mind into thinking about the solution rather than the problems toward the outcome, then you can change your mind on anything. And if you have that willpower within, then you may be able to change other people's minds as well. But you truly only have control over yourself. You can lead people to think in a certain way, but they ultimately have to make the choice themselves, just like you have to make the choice with yourself.
About 15 minutes into the movie, I cognitively reframed it. And I was like, you know what? 2.5 years ago, you were sitting in this movie theater watching Richard Linklater's Slacker, and you had no vision of being a filmmaker. And here you are 2.5 years later, and you're watching your own movie in this theater. And yeah, it didn't fill up the way you hoped, but you did it. So this costs money that you don't have. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go get another job. And if you have to, you're going to get a third job. You'll get another job if you have to, so that you pay off this credit card debt. And then when you pay off that debt, you're going to do this one more time before you leave this world. Because did you know who you were for the first time in your life when you were standing on that set? You knew exactly who you were supposed to be. Your whole life prior to that, it's been a mystery. And then bam, just like that, everything became crystal clear. Don't sell out on this just because it didn't work the way you wanted it to. Remember that feeling of finally knowing who you are and get back to that feeling one day. It may cost time and it may cost money, but get back to that. That was the most gratifying thing you've ever felt in this lifetime.
Following your passion and purpose in life is so gratifying and rewarding. It always makes me think, if there's a will, there's a way. If you can do anything possible, if you want to succeed more than you want to breathe, then success is inevitable. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Just like it's not about being the smartest or the most talented. A lot of times people who succeed are not the smartest and not the most talented, but they do have drive and they strive towards their goals with relentless effort. 20% is what you know. 80% is putting in the work. It's putting in the effort. So if you can show up every day, you will succeed.
Mercifully, somebody said, you should take this movie to Sundance. And we submitted it. It got picked up for Sundance, one of 16 movies of 400 that were submitted. Miramax bought it. Suddenly I went from being a guy who worked in a convenience store who made a movie to having a career in film. I got to pay off that debt. I didn't have to worry about that. That was 31 years ago.
He could stress over that debt, stressing over the problem, or find solutions like having the film shown at Sundance and getting picked up by a huge production company. And his debts were wiped clean. So he's focusing on the solutions rather than the problems. Solution-oriented thinking is the way forward.
My parents, when I was heading toward film, they were like, what's your backup? You know, because parents care and they feel like the field that I was heading toward was one that success was never going to be guaranteed. And in the case of their idiot son, probably wasn't even going to happen. But having a reasonable amount of unreasonability allowed me to be like, well, I understand, reasonably speaking, that a lot of people don't bet on themselves and make a movie, even though they've never made one before. But I got a reasonable amount of unreasonability here. And so I pursued a career of extended adolescence because, I'll be honest with you kids, one day you die screaming like my father did. You might as well go for it. You might as well do the thing that you dream about doing, for heaven's sake.
Having a reasonable amount of unreasonability is finding the middle path, finding the balance between reasonable and unreasonable. And that middle path leads you straight to anything that you desire, as long as you put in the work.
Thanks, Kevin. This has been great. We'd love to take some portraits of you. Can we do some portraits standing? And then would you mind sitting for a couple portraits?
No, I don't want to sit, but I'll totally stand for as many portraits as you want. I'm getting my steps in. And while I was doing this, I hit 10,000.
So get out there and follow your dreams. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.